Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Off the Top, where I preview and review games coming up for the Warriors and going off the top for the Melbourne Storm game coming up this week. And looking forward to it. Now, if you are here for the first time, please smash the like button and subscribe for more New Zealand Warriors content here on wahsup TV. Let's get started, man. Let's look at firstly coming up against this Saturday, the Warriors, the team list coming up for this game against the Storm. Pretty much unchanged technically, but we all assume, or a lot of us assume as fans, that maybe Egan may drop out. Capewell could drop out as well. So in that case, always keeping in mind that Freddie Lussick may start, and we may see an unlikely start for off the bench for CHT, or could be Jazz. We will have to wait and see what happens, especially if wait for that 24-hour cutoff team list. That usually tells us who's made it and who hasn't. So, but hopefully, same team. I like this idea of getting the same team list as it gives us the opportunity to kind of correct our mistakes. Or it felt as though that HIA to Tane and the injury to Capewell kind of put things out of place. It kind of put what maybe Webster hadn't intended in the plan to work. It altered the balance of things, and so I feel as though hopefully, if it is the same team, we do get Egan and Capewell. Miracles can happen. That we get a better look at what exactly Webby plans to do with that bench, because he's gone with Lussick again, he's gone with Ale, he's gone with Bunty, and he's gone with Walker. So yeah, just interested to see that. I think for me, the bench, I would love to see Ale come on as in terms of what Bunty's doing. I'd rather see Bunty towards the end of the game. I think we need more impact. We need something to build the momentum or continue the momentum in that wave after Barnett and AFB go off. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what Webby does in that situation. I just feel we need in the middle of the game, either side of half time, we need something there. So that's my view. Anyway, but overall, happy with the squad. I know people wanted RTS to move to fullback. That's just not the plan. It's a short-term fix. Look, CNK is a few weeks away. Tane is doing a good job, in my opinion. RTS moving back to fullback. How much? Like he's a better ball runner. He's a better fullback. But is it worth it just to appease that area instead of developing RTS as a genuine left centre? I think he needs more time in the role that he's in. I think Tane needs more time in the role that he's in. That's just the simple fact of it. And I think for Tane, in fact, he just needs to work with Sean, get his link play right, get in the right spaces. Get used to edges jamming him. He's going to get that a lot, so he needs to take either the hits or learn how to maneuver around them. Maybe cut out passes to Dallin, those types of things. They just need more time together, pretty much. So I'm happy with that. Happy with Metcalf. Happy with everything that's happening. I think the back five are solid. I just want to see more for RTS. I really do want to see him. He's coming up against Nick Meaney, which I think will be another good challenge for him. But want to see him get some more early ball. Him, Metcalf, and Ford. I want to see that channel sort of start to click and get in sync with each other. So I'm pretty happy with the squad. AFB, Barnett, yeah, happy with what they're doing. Jackson Ford, obviously, we know what happened. We just want him to have a solid game. Capewell, for me, just get used to it, the team a bit more. Some of his lines are just timing runs with Sean were a little bit off. And I just want a bit more meters from him. I think he only had 50 meters. I know he tackles his heart out. He does all the 1%ers, but just a little bit more run meters just to help out a little bit from him. But overall, pretty happy with that squad. We're going on to the Storm team list. I think it's maybe an unchanged team list from last week. Credit to them. They beat the Panthers and they scrambled on defense really well. They had some good attacking sets. They piled on pressure where they could. 8 points, so not a lot of points in their performance, but you got to say to beat the Storm, the Panthers, although a clunky Panthers, similar to us, a team that was kind of panicked a little bit, pushing the pass, went continually grabbed right and left at times. They did well to diffuse all of those attacks, from a big forward pack, experienced forward pack, and especially Lathan Cleary, experienced half that can move either side of the field. And within one set, he's in touching all 4 or 5 tackles. So good job for them. I mean, you'll give credit to them and what Bellamy's done in the off season. Their forward pack looks solid, and that's still without Nas and Munster. So you got to say that there's still a few steps ahead for them to develop. but the overall package looks pretty consistent. And with Pappenhausen, I think a bit of time, he'll get even better. So yeah, a big challenge for us. But I think they remain unnamed. I think they're pretty settled on that back five at the moment, at least with Meany and Remus, quite defensive or systems type centers. They give you what you got. You good tackling, nothing overly amazing in terms of breakout, X factor, but they do a good job. Joe Chan and I forgot who the other one is, but Joe Chan looked pretty good. Um, Katoa, sorry, yeah, Katoa playing 80 minutes looks pretty solid. Loyero doing a decent job with Welch coming off the bench now, which I think is a good balance for them. I think Welch coming off the bench does enough impact for them. And then so, yeah, that looks like a pretty good team. And at home, again, going to be a tough ask. But looking at our strengths and weaknesses, I feel if you look at our first 20 minutes last week, that's what we want to see. That was what I think we expected to see, was a continuation of that. And it was a shame that we kind of lost our way for whatever reason. Probably the middles kind of got beaten out by Hazleton and Rudolph. I thought they were really good last week. So that middle period of the game is really important to contain, to seize control, to continue to build momentum, and then trying to score points in those periods as well. You don't want to go empty-handed in those periods and give away 16 points like we did to the Sharks. You really want to try and keep the points going. If off that second wave or that first interchange where AFB and Barnett goes off, so that's a little weak area we need to work on, getting our middles sorted in there and also our edges. And then in attack, we had a great attack in that first half, again built off of Egan. And saying if Egan isn't going to play, then you're going to have Lussick. We want to support Lussick and give him enough, get the service that he's going to provide from dummy half. He needs to get the ball to the first receiver, but there needs to be shape set up around that. So he's not going to be the type of half to run out a dummy half to like a Egan or a Harry Grant, which we'll see this Saturday. But he gives reasonable service, good passes, but at least when the first receivers get there, they need to set up. They need to be able to support him and what he's doing. So, yeah, that's really important for me, is that we kind of address those areas. The edges, the attack needs to be sorted out, kind of straighten the attack, the timing of it. I think guys are just a little bit clunky, a bit out of sync. But, we've got threat. Our back five, big yardage. I think and our halves just need to get in time with each other. Metcalf and that edge just need to kind of straighten their lines, and then early ball to RTS. Really use RTS more effectively. But those are some of the things I think we need to work on. Mostly importantly is defense, maintaining defensive, resilience throughout the whole game. We can't have patches like we did against the Sharks where we just felt like we nodded off and just sort of, weren't fully committed to our tackles and maintaining that. So, as for the Storm, again, just a consistent performance, resilient in defense. I felt though that they were scrambled hard, but there were massive opportunities for the Sharks to win that game. Sorry, the Panthers to win that game, but it seems as though that the Panthers panicked a little bit. So you do give credit to the defensive team, the Storm, but at the same time there are opportunities there. They are a little bit vulnerable. If they get a more patient, structured team, willing to be more composed, which I'm expecting from our boys, then there are points there on the table. I mean, if you look at example, what we're trying to do is try the AFB at the start of the game against the Sharks. That's exactly a great try, because what it's done is that it's so easy once you've sucked in those middle defenders so much like that's the result, is you get an AFB, literally a one-off pass to Egan, and he scores. And that's credit to all the work that our boys have done in the middle, attacking the ruck, Egan doing his work, everyone running their lines, running hard, quick play the balls, and you get those results. But that's from patience, being composed, and hitting the parts of the field that you need to. So I just feel as though we can do that to the Storm in some ways, but we have to be very patient. But credit to them, they are a strong side. I like their halves pairing. They're quite consistent, nothingly over amazing. Pappenhausen is another one that you got to be really careful. Another week, he looked pretty good in terms of his fitness, got around the field, but he's going to even grow even more. So another one to watch out for. The bench is a little bit weak. And what I mean by that, in the forwards as well, they're more up and down forwards, not a lot of footwork. Hard workers run hard at the line, will give their all. but you're not really getting much X factor in terms of leg, movement, line breakability. So I think there's an opportunity there if we have a strong defensive middle and our edges make the tackles, especially the one-on-one tackles. And I know they'll try and target Sean and they'll try and target Metcalf running along those tram lines and kind of hit them and try to get a quick play of the ball through Harry Grant. If we can control the tackle as much as we can, we're going to slow them down enough, I feel. But the key for them, I really feel, is Harry Grant. The way he manipulates the ruck, the way he can kind of get their sets going, and hitting their halves, getting the ball where they need it. His positional awareness, all those things, I think are really important. We need to shut them down. We need to keep them quiet. So there's, that's some of their strengths and some of their potential weaknesses. But for us, this is the key here: is patience, composure, and execution. Being patient. There were times that we kind of rushed a lot of our attack last week. There were times we made errors. Going back quickly to the Storm and Panthers game, the Panthers made a ton of errors, as did the Storm. But errors from balls under the pressure, from wingers jamming in, just loose passes. Just lacking the fundamentals. And for me, we need to be composed. Our execution, our passing. We can't afford knock-ons. We can't afford silly passes. We can't afford silly errors. We need everyone to stay composed. And what I mean by patience is when the time comes, make the calls at the right times. Don't rush the play. Don't go for the big play, as Webby mentioned. Go through your sets, get to your points on the field, find your cues. Okay, they're loading the short side, whatever it is. Okay, we're going to go open side. Get to all those cues, and over time, we will get the results we need. Those doors will open up for down and on the edge, or they'll open up through the middle. We just have to be very patient. But that's really important for me. The link players as well, if they do get jammed off the edges, they got to be really cautious about how they pass the ball, or if they hold it, or that we just need precision, timing, and execution, which we showed it obviously in the 20 minutes in the first half last week and last year, how we can execute to a high level. So I think that's just some of the things that are really important. Winning the middle, we have to win the middle period of the game. Like I said, after AFB and Barnett come off, we have to, those guys that come on, if it's Ali or Bunty or Jazz or Walker in particular, they need to be able to win that part of the game. They have to score a try or score even 2 tries or get some points on the board to keep the scoreboard ticking in that period. We can't go, scoreless in that period. We can't leak in 2 tries. We really need to shore up the middle of the game right there. I feel if we can do that, then we'll be able to have a nice push towards the end. When you get Barnett and AFB back on, get a Tohu back in there, or whoever it is, you can start to push, and then you can kind of, if you need to catch points, hey, you can catch them, or if you're in front, then you can build your lead. But we really need, if we can, maintain majority defense and attack, and pressure, field position and possession in that middle part of the game. Yeah, like I was saying, limit errors, penalties, and momentum shifters. There was a period of penalties that happened in that game. I think Jackson Ford knocked the ball, and then we got a penalty, and we got another penalty. Those things can change or alter the game so much that we really need to be disciplined. We can't have any leg grabs, things like that. We need to stay within the structures, try and keep a clean game as possible, and limit our errors. We can't self-implode from our own mistakes. So hopefully ball security will be high, and those types of things. Spine and senior players to lead. Yeah, I really feel that there was that, like I'm talking about the middle period, there was a period on time where we felt rudderless. We felt like we were lacking any direction. And I equate that to our senior and spine players need to be able to really direct the attack. They really need to be able to lead our boys in our attack and defense in every part of the game. So I'm hoping for a big game from them, especially the likes of Tohu and Sean. And everyone else, even Metcalf for me as a spine player, needs to step up when the going gets tough to try and create, call for the ball, and support players like Lussick, support players like Tain Tuopiki. Some of our players that, are cup players and they're playing first grade, but they need a bit more support. So hopefully we get that from our guys. Just to finish off, guys, score prediction. Yeah, I'm predicting 20-16, something like that. I think the Storm are another try due. I think they could have scored an extra try, so probably 2016, 2014, something like that. I think we were short of try or two as well. So it will be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be more than 3 tries either way. But I'm hoping for our sake that we can either score 3 tries and a penalty, and limit them to try and 16 or 14 points, something like that. We just really need to be resilient on defense, but also we need to yeah, we need to kind of, when we get the opportunity, say if we have another big 20 minutes, we need to get that 3rd try, or we need to, in the middle part of the game, get some points on the board, whether it's a penalty, whatever it is, and then we need to close that game out. But that's my thoughts anyway, guys. Thank you for listening. Hope that may have related, and my opinion of the game goes well. I hope we win. But we'll hear back from me after for another off the top game review on the weekend, hopefully. But enjoy your rest of your week, and we'll see you guys later. Like and subscribe as well, please. Peace.